Hello, I'm Apostle Leon Benjamin.
And I'm Pastor Maria Benjamin.
Welcome to the Marriage from Heaven broadcast. We are delighted to come with you, and we're talking about how to fight fair. We're using a conflict to build closeness. One of the great disappointments of many families is the amount of conflict that occurs in trying to solve problems. The experience, the negative impact is definitely something that we need to really take a look at and to consider. If we want a deeply committed family, understand there are a few things about conflict we need to understand, and that's what we're going to talk about here on this series.
Conflict can be a tool or a weapon.
Yes.
Depending on how we handle it, conflict will either drive us to each other or away from each other. And that's what we want to talk about for just a few minutes. We want to give you some tools in your toolbox. We want to give you the right tools, because a lot of us, when we get angry, we pull out the wrong thing. But we're going to give you a few tools today just to help you when that anger comes into the family.
Okay, first of all, personality plays a very important role in solving conflicts. Some of us are introverts, and then some of us are extroverts.
Yes.
And introverts flee to silence. They are the quiet ones. They get their energy from being alone.
Yes.
As opposed to extroverts, they like to be around people. They get their energy from people.
And one thing about introverts, when it comes to arguments, they will kind of shut down. And then with extroverts, they get loud and boisterous. You know, they can't keep it in. So we want to help you, and I want you to identify the type of personality you have, so that it's going to help you to be effective when you get into a little bit of a heated argument.
Yes, I mean, sometimes even when men who may be normally extroverts may become an introvert when it comes to solving conflict, because men think differently than women. Men are more, when we talk about left-brained, logical, so we need time to think it out, as opposed to a woman who thinks while she's talking.
Yes. And that can be pretty tough too, because one thing about women, we like to talk our situations out. And that's something that you need to understand. But men, what they like to do is shut down, and they like to think the situation out. So what happens is they might shut down, and we as the wife, we might say, well, what's wrong with you? Don't you see that Johnny is failing in school? Don't you see we got this bill and we don't have the money? But what that man is doing, he's shutting down because he's trying to think about how the family's going to get out of that situation. Now, this is why the Bible says that the Lord loves a meek and a quiet spirit when it comes to a woman. Because if that woman continues to hound that man, what happens? He's going to go deeper and deeper in the cave. And what you're going to have is a little brick building relationship where there's a wall now between you, instead of you trying to come together to solve that relationship.
Yeah, this is what Proverbs 15:1 says. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Sometimes it's the words that we say, is how we say things, that really determines whether or not the conflict is going to be solved or dissolved, or if it's going to keep on going. And a lot of times I've seen it when just one word caused everything to calm down. We call that de-escalating a situation. But I've also saw when that's another word caused everything to escalate or to go up. So it just depends on the personality. So know what type of person you are. Know definitely the Bible even talks about a person that they should know themselves. Be true to your own hurt. Yes. Be true to your own selves. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So we don't want people to get in these conflicts and not identify other type of personalities. And there are all types of personality tests out there. You got the if you're a dominant type, or or if you're more of the melancholy passive type. Well, we got to understand how that plays in solving conflicts.
And another thing, spouses out there, know what pushes your spouse's buttons. Now, if you start saying your mama, right there, they're going to fight. Okay?
Yeah.
Certain things will tick your spouse off. So you want to talk about that situation. You want to be kind, and you don't want to go in playing the dozens. You don't want to go in like, okay, I got one up on him, he got one up on me. We're going in to solve the conflict. We're not trying to, have 2 points over here and see how many points I can score, because we're trying to have a resolution so the family can get back to peace.
Yeah, and one of the things, again, when we talk about the goal is to solve the conflict regardless if you are an introvert or extrovert. We use the term assertiveness to be assertive, and then also we use the term active listening. Active listening just means being able to respond back to the individual based upon what they are telling you, as opposed to trying to solve a problem. That's one thing my wife hates for me. She wants me to really listen and not try to bring about sometimes solving the issue. It's not always about solving it right off. Sometimes you need to be an active listener. And so we are so dedicated to just talking about this. We got some more things to share, and we'll be right back in our next series.